going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Listen, the big picture is for the last few years, we've had both a Fed and Treasury providing a lot of support for all asset prices. And we've gone into what you could call almost a global asset bubble. And now you've got a very hawkish Fed. I mean, I think Powell could not have been more direct today. We've got no real hope that Biden's going to show up with any more silver bullets, right? That gun is empty. And so now you've got headwinds to asset prices. And we're going through a big re-rating. You've seen it in lots of growth equity stocks. You've seen it in crypto. I mean, the good news, if there is a silver lining, is crypto is already down between 50 and 75% from the highs, depending on what coin. And so a lot of the beatdown has happened. And we're starting to see Bitcoin trading much better down here in the 33 to 37 zone. I think it's going to be a tough year for assets, right? Listen, the stock market could have been a lot worse today. NASDAQ finished roughly flat, S&P down small, with True. Interest rates in the front end down 18 basis points. And so there's been a lot of fear in the first 3 weeks of the year, a lot of selling. And so I think, bear markets are hard to trade because you've got big squeezes and then they sell off again. But I think we're going to have a lot of indigestion, for the next 3-4 months in both equity markets. And I think we've had a lot in crypto markets.
The difference is in crypto, how do you know whether we're at the end of a beatdown? How do you know what the price of Bitcoin should be in this kind of environment? At least in stocks, you can look at valuations and cash flows and earnings, and you can see when it's gotten really cheap.
And that's why I think you've seen the bigger falls in things like growth equity, where the multiples were so high, it's kind of just guessing on valuation. Right? I think about Tesla, right? Is Tesla a $900 billion company? Maybe. We know it's a good company. We know they make great cars. It's, multiples are kind of insane if you want to think about them in classic terms. And so it takes a while. It's buyers coming in. I would tell you this, I'm down in Florida for the Super Bowl of allocators, right? There's so many conferences down here, and it's shocking how many people have interest in crypto, how many meetings our team is having. Most of the institutional allocators are just starting in their journey. And so I feel pretty strong that there will be bids both in the Bitcoin complex and in the Web3 complex, money going into venture funds and that money finding its way into the market.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And the truth is coming out. We have CNBC with 2 good videos. The truth. We know what the Fed is going to do for the next 1.5 to 2 years. They're going to be pulling back, and the American economy is going to take pain. Remember, I told you, 2022 was going to be the start of the worst times in U.S. economic history. 2023 is going to be even worse. And I warned you last year. Now we have the rise of the dragon, China, and that digital yuan. And we know we're waiting on that big event that's going to signal the rise of China over America to Babylon. The New World Order and big corporations have been planning for this. They can't wait. You have over 1 billion people that do as they're told. Remember, America is the last free country. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Hey, Kyle. I think you know my feelings about the human rights issues in China. However, my question to you is, I want to pretend for a moment that you are the leader of and CEO of an American company doing business in China. You could be Tim Cook. You could be the CEO of Intel. You could be the CEO of Coca-Cola. Name which. And my question to you is, what would you do? Meaning, would you speak out publicly and risk your business? Would you not speak out at all? Is this simply an issue of the hypocrisy of that you feel that they're speaking out on voting issues in the U.S. and not on China? What would you, Kyle Bass, do?
Well, I think you guys know me by now. I would speak out, and I might be fired by the board because I'm not maximizing shareholder value. I've said, a few times in the past, if a U.S. national security or human rights policy was left up to corporate America, we'd all be speaking Chinese tomorrow. It's really important to note that these leaders of companies, are only there to maximize shareholder value, and anything they do that's ESG driven or human rights driven is very carefully thought out with the goal of maximization of shareholder value always in the crosshairs. So what we need is leadership. Again, if we think about national security and the preservation or protection of human rights, that needs to come from our leadership, and they need to set the ground rules. Because, Andrew, as we know, ideologically, we couldn't be more fundamentally incompatible with China and Russia, for that matter. And we can't wait to do more business with them, because we all have this idea of the Chinese El Dorado, the 1.4 billion Chinese that we can sell something to, or that they can make something cheaper for us. This is going to require leadership on the political side and the legislative side. You can't expect to see leadership on the corporate side, Andrew, because that's not what they're charged with. Unfortunately, that's where our country stands today.
The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.